strap a stone, I wanna bounce a bone, I wanna mess with it, I wanna lay to the field, a whole crew on the seal, I want the preacher appeal, I wanna bless with it, I wanna head to a mass to get cast in it, a shit's funnier than any A-class in it, I wanna talk to the clown who wants apologies down, pay him £300 and take a class in it, I wanna bite the phone, I wanna bleed the tone, I wanna see you alone, 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 I wanna straight the shack, I find me someone to pack, like the light when it's dark, it's dark, it's dark, dark, a few stairs about, make it feel like peace in a way, complimentary round, consolation, got a twist in it, for a GPO and all the hits in it, I'm gonna hit your business, if it's momentary business, I'm gonna hit your business, if it's momentary business, I'm gonna hit your business, if it's momentary business, I'm gonna hit your business, if it's momentary. I wanna talk with a gag, if it's a bottle or bag, I wanna strike at the sack, I need the fans from it, I want a shot in the dark, I wanna make the mark, I wanna live the yak, I call the ends on it, I wanna take the truth, whatever lands on it, my God-given insanity, it depends on it, how I feel, how I feel, how I feel, I wanna kill, all the hand and a turned up challenger, I wanna keep all of your charm in a canister, do you inspire like the same bit salager, I'm the pig on the Chinese calendar, I got a shadow like a 5'8" caliber, I wanna move like a new salamander, I live a carry-on, who's a real scavenger, it's moral tyranny keeping me from me. Hit me for the day, for the life that you suffer to come by. Take to my sky, never wanting, only wonder to live out of reach. Sloping family, short to tall, 1 to 3. Swallow the key, in their footprints I will follow.
Alright, hello, hello, hello. Happy race day. What am I trying to do? I guess. Hello, PG. Whoop. I guess I am trying to throw some laps in. Have you been getting on, PG? I can't decide on setup exactly. I've got slightly different ideas. Generally speaking, though, I don't know about you, but generally speaking, I like to lower my wings slightly for the race, which kind of, it goes against the around 16.4 or 5 in short quali. Okay. I never practice short quali, to be honest, and I know that probably leaves me at a disadvantage, but also, sorry, oops, that's probably a little bit loud. Let me know how this is now, maybe. It's probably a little quiet. The way I have to capture the audio on this game is slightly different, because otherwise the rumble strips, if you capture it by the application output, the rumble strips get way too loud, and people literally will watch on their phone. And if they put their phone on the table, it'll like rumble the bloody table. Actually kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I like to lower the wings a little bit for the race as opposed to quali, which goes against the sort of make the setup more stable for the race so that you can be more consistent. But I just think it's so important to have that straight line speed versus everybody else when you're actually out there. But maybe I'm wrong. Let me know how the audio is now, like when I'm driving full throttle and I'm speaking. Not that I'm going to be speaking very much while the race is on, but is everything kind of where it needs to be? This is not going to be a fast lap, but that's fine. First lap. I'm running lower wings, better to try and get out of DRS trains. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Even though, you know, it potentially compromises some of the stability in the car. Oh no. That wasn't too bad for the first lap. Running a little bit wide on the... that turn 13 here or something? Rubbish at learning... Whoa, the corner numbers. And I'm rubbish at talking when I'm supposed to be aiming for the apex. Slow. Lost about a tenth and a half there. It felt slow. And that was way too wide on the second part of the chicane. Actually, it didn't lose too much. That is maybe the hardest corner for me to get right. Got the line all kind. I looked at chat. I got the line all kinds of wrong. It said it's going to be a safety car, if not at least a VSC early on. Well, we'll see. I mean, was that the script in pre-season though? I don't think it was in the race that I was involved in, which I think was Spain. This is why I can't look at chat and I can't actually speak to people while I race on these, but you know, some people maybe want to keep up with the championship, so I stream it. I'm not streaming it because I want to chat to people while I'm driving, really. Alright. Ooh. That was such a big slap. Let me put, just while I'm doing time trial and practice, I'm going to put the chat here. Slightly more visible. Maybe a 1 VSC in Abu Dhabi late on. Very clean otherwise. I think it remains to be seen. They also had a lot of, you know, weather situations in the other tiers. Which, despite the race taking place in Australia, can sometimes be a feature at Albert Park, so maybe. Purple sector 2, but I definitely got a couple of corners wrong towards the end. I think turn 1 is the fucking hardest corner on this racetrack, honestly. Because you need to, like, pinch so much of it. You know? It's rare that you have a turn 1 that is that fast like it is here. I'm gonna keep trailing a wheel on the grass, apparently. Oh, great. Ugh. I just can't... I have no idea how people speak whilst they race on this video game. I don't know. I mean, maybe if I had assists on, surely, maybe. But... I think there's a few tier 6 tonight. Yeah, there might be 1 or 2 tier 4 as well. So, watch out for that. Just lost a little bit of traction on the entry to turn 4, and it lost me like about 2/10 over the course of that whole next section. That was so slow. And I keep braking a little bit late there, actually. Deceptively tight, the penultimate corner, because it really, like, it swings around, doesn't it? I think it's... I'm going to get... Like I say, I'm going to get the numbers of the corners wrong. I think it's turn 14 here at Australia. It's a really long swing, but so it makes you think you've kind of got more time than you have, but it's actually quite tight, I think, the line. A bit rubbish. About 15 minutes until the lobby opens. That was right on the, not on the limit of grip, but on the limit of track limits for sure. Oh, and that's gone. Yeah. You feel it sometimes, don't you? And the only way I could have kept that between the lines would be an immense slowdown, because the grip had just deserted me for a moment. Is this one of the LiDAR scanned tracks? I think, isn't there 3 new ones or something this year? Oof. Hope it's not wet. I don't mind the wet, really. Because I know, like, it's weird, right? You're watching me right now in time trial, and it probably, I would assume, well, it feels like this to me. It feels like I'm a bit all over the place. I'm watching it. It probably looks like I'm a little bit all over the place. But that's because I know it's time trial. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to see how fast I can actually go. And there's really no penalty for, like, making a mistake other than the lap gets invalidated. Well, who really cares about that? I don't care about that. Well, I think I'm able to, like, adopt and adapt, you know, my mindset. Look at that. If you try talking, you forget to upshift during the race. And I think, from past experience with Tier 5, I think I can do pretty well in the wet, just by, you know, keeping it consistent. And I think I can do that. So I wouldn't mind the wet. I'm really, I mean, I don't know what I'm looking for. Bearing in mind that there are a few Tier 4 drivers, I think. I'm bearing in mind that I think Australia is like a pretty good track for me. I'm hoping for like a top 5. I think that's probably, that would feel like a successful day. Top 10 would really feel probably average at this point. But we know who's going to be fast. Daniel's going to be fast. I mean, Blitz is currently, I think, recovering from a little bit of a procedure, so not sure what's going to happen. But generally, you would think that Blitz is going to be fast. PG, you're going to be fast, to be honest. Whoa. Right-hander onto the back straight tempts you into over-pushing. You mean like the final corner? I agree with that. The final corner is deceptively low grip, right? Because it's actually quite a wide turn. I know the wall comes up on you fast, but people talk about the wall, and I never ever actually think about the wall during the final corner. I only think about the fact that the grip is just constantly slipping away. You can, like, if you get the power down too early, it's the worst corner for doing that. Oh, great. Don't talk, Helston, while you're driving. Probably the worst corner for that on the racetrack. Yeah, because if you get it right, it looks so easy, doesn't it? Because, like I say, it's wide. You're in 4th gear, everything feels nice and, you know, or looks nice and stable, but it does not feel nice and stable, does it? The car feels like it is wriggling and wiggling and just activating all of the mechanical grip and aerodynamic grip that it has available to keep pointing in the right direction. It's really a very tentative corner, the final corner. I'll tell you what, it's a good job you were here early to hear me say all this, because I will not be speaking while I'm driving tonight if this is anything to go by. Whoa. Oh, come on. I even lifted way more than I normally would because I knew I was going wide. What do you think the time penalty situation will be, PG, if he's still here? Because Tier 2 had like a big time penalty situation, actually. Oh, come on. Validated for attacked the wall. I guess it is right, but it's outrageous. Don't know how I held that one.
Well, it's not a bad lap. Sometimes you just take slightly too much of that curb. I mean, you know, I could up the ride height, but I just think you lose something aerodynamically. Can hold it. Right, I think I might do 2 more laps. Yeah. Braking way too late, was always going to lock up there. I mean, you might be able to brake that late, but I can't. Well, who cares at that point? Right. Time for one more lap. Yeah, it was a great cut, that one. It's alright, PG. I was already 7/10 behind. Okay, here we go. Oh. I'll take it. Around about 2/10 down on the PB. There's the final lap. There's time to be gained. But there's a race. I should set you as my rival, really, PG, so that I can see this bit. You know what I mean? So I can see what the difference is in the sector times and stuff. Then we can really produce a strategy for the race that defeats PG, which is, you know, which is the goal of everything, to be honest. That's the entire strategy tonight is, can we finish ahead of PG? Yes, thank you, Mark. Let's do that. I actually don't know at all what I'm doing with tire strategy. Good point. think you can... I think you can one-stop it. I'm sure you can one-stop it, actually. Esteban Ocon or Ollie Behrman? I like Ollie Behrman. Too easy. Trying to start a Hamilton-Rosberg situation. Yeah, but we're not teammates, PG. So it's not that. I gotta tell you, the grid looks good this season, doesn't it? Braden, Daniel, Blitz, PG, Brewdog, Psycho. I'm into this, man. I'll defend like Max does when he's got a penalty. I'm going to be on the fucking radio to Mark. Push me off track. On this day, 1777, July the 4th, Luke Skywalker freed us from Imperial rule and blew up the Boston tea shipment. I remember. One of his friends said it was 1 in a million. Happy Independence Day, Mr. Bojangles. I am actually racing in the Haas Formula 1 car tonight. And it has, you'll be impressed and pleased to know, Bo, that I will have to be staring at the flag of the United States of America throughout tonight's race, because it is right there on the halo. There is no getting away from it. I am in many ways tonight Team America, World Police. Just having a look at my teammates. Gonna make it today. He's responded to say that he is, so I don't see Scorter in the lobby yet, but it looks like Scorter will be joining. I've learned how to change the flag, PG. So now it's a real rivalry. You know what I mean? No more fucking lines in Ulster. Aye, I'm an Ulsterman. Remember that sketch? What was that sketch? Was it Catherine Tate or something? You heard about our John? He's a gay man now. Don't care. Hey, next week I'm not going to be racing. I'm going to be seeing Oasis. The Mancunian accent made me think. There's actually PG. Look at the fucking Irish contingent. Look at this. I brought them with me. We're going to be wearing fucking balaclavas and singing kneecap songs in a minute. And there's you got 2 Northern Irish as well. I'll tell you what, this is the Easter Rising, the F1 lobby. You know what I'm saying? Planning something in Tier 5. This is it, man. All aboard your coffin ships. I'm looking forward to it, honestly, PG. You know, we're doing a bit of the pre-season. I've done a bit of commentating, which is fine. I like the commentating. It's okay. It feels like I don't think I'm like particularly good at commentating or anything, but it feels like giving something a little bit back to the league because they need somebody to commentate on the races and stream them. So it feels like, you know, a nice thing to do. But I'm not like, my heart's not set on it or anything crazy like that. I'm just very excited to be back racing in the first race of the season. There's this rush of adrenaline suddenly when it matters, you know, and it also doesn't matter because it's a casual competitive racing league, if we're being entirely honest. But it does matter, doesn't it? I want to do well, and I want to have a good season, and we got 15 races to get through, and you want to put down a marker today, you know? I'm excited. But tempering the adrenaline is also pretty critical. Lots of hope at the beginning of the season. Yeah. Hey, Bo. I want to make this a sound alert. Hold on. Let me see. Have we got time? Might just have time to show you.
The name is Mamdani. M-A-M-D-A-N-I. The name is Mamdani.
I would have to,
The name is Mamdani.
Oh, you can hear it so loud.
M-A-M-D-A-N-I. The name is Mamdani. M-A-M-D-A-N-I. You should learn how to say it. M-A-M-D-A-N-I. You should learn how to say it. M-A-M-D-A-N-I. The name is Mamdani. M-A-M-D-A-N-I. The name is...
Alright. Somewhere along the line. We'll do it. Okay. I'll go with balanced tires. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It started quick, didn't it? It started quick. We must all be here. Hope you hit the wall, just not too hard. Hey, listen, PG. The island of Ireland belongs to the... Good luck, PG, in all that you do. Not to put a damper on things, but I just heard about the Jota news. Yeah, terribly sad. Yeah. Now, you're right. Well, not a lot more can be said than that, to be honest, Mr. Bro Jangles. It is terribly sad. You're right. Obviously, we don't know the greater part of the details yet and stuff, so yeah, it's rough. Right. I'm gonna give it like let these fuck it, you know what I mean? Give it a minute. Yeah, maybe bad timing. Don't worry about it though. Don't type that in the chat or anything so it's there for everyone to see forever. But yeah, maybe. Alright. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen.
The track's pretty quiet at the moment. Perhaps we should get out there, get a few laps in. Standing by.
Look at the fucking flag, bro. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Whoa, whoa, fucking hell. Whoa, referee. Forgive me, Bo, but I'm not going to read your chat messages while I put the first lap in, okay? Although I'll read it on the straight now, fuck it. Did you say, Jose? Whoa. No, I won't. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. And quite a lot of battery to spare there at the end. That's solid though. I'll take it as like, you know, little banker lap. I've just read your chat message. What is that? The ICE national anthem?
Less than 1 lap of fuel left now. The tank's pretty much empty.
Yeah, PG's now in this league. Look at that. PG. First lap of the day, 4/10 ahead of me is pretty quick. I definitely feel like I can go a lot faster though. There was a couple of, I mean, you probably saw it. I think actually the exit to turn 4 was not very good. It was a little bit too aggressive, and that compromised the line on turn 5, which meant I was spinning a little bit. Definitely had the opportunity to carry a lot more speed through the fast chicane at the end of the long back straight.
17.5.
So, time to be gained. Now the question is, how many runs can you actually do? Daniel had a bit of a nightmare so far. Although perhaps he knew that, and so he just backed off for a lap. I know, he's bringing it in now. Well, I'm just gonna go for this, I think.
Okay, guys, everyone
just
be
get out
aware.
there.
The car's ready to go.
I think PG is controller, but I'm not sure. The problem is, Bowie, he'll be like me right now, concentrating on his qualifying. Whoa, what? How'd I get a warning?
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Oh my god, you're joking. Just ran. Look at that. Purple sectors all over the place. All I had to do there, man, was nail that. Nail that final corner and I'd have been provisionally pole position. Absolutely outrageous. Well, now I think I need to wait.
Okay, our best lap so far, 1:17.5. Okay, we're 20th in the speed trap, 206.7 miles per hour.
Is I'm 20th in the speed trap?
Five minutes remaining in this session.
Not sure what happened there, but it didn't look very good. It's fast from Psycho.
Okay, engines fired up, we're set. Right, we're right on the cusp now. We've been pushed down to P11. Okay, 1 minute remaining, just 1 minute. And we've dropped to P12.
Oh, can't go any quicker.
Traffic was a bit of a nightmare, but I don't think anyone did anything wrong necessarily. Just that the traffic was a bit of a nightmare. Oh, I see. It works. Down to 15th. That's such an awful qualifying. I mean, it's extra annoying because that second lap was it was going to be good. The second lap would have been like a 1:16, maybe a 1:16.8 or something. Yeah, I mean, look at that, man. I suppose I've qualified ahead of Daniel, and I'm right there with Braden. I mean, the truth is, guys, look at this. From P1 to more or less where Mike is in P16, there's a second in it. Which is kind of ridiculous. Your hair looks good today. Thank you. Yeah, genuinely, from P1 to P16, there's like a second in it. Which is, you know, very, very close. Uh, 24 is ready up time. You fucked up turn 1 on all of your laps? Yeah. Yeah, I screwed up a few different places, actually. Good point. Strategy, Kelston. Sorry, I'm going to duck out of chat for a minute. well. I think the one stop's going to be really hard, but I think it's what I want to do. So we're going to try it. Again, as always, everybody. In fact, hopefully, if I don't run out of time, I can show you where commentary is really quick. Commentary is there. Alright, I haven't got time to set the rest of that up. That's where it is.
Mind that front wing, it's going to need replacing if it takes too much damage.
Box this lap.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
Oh, they better repair the wing, man. They better repair the wing. I don't believe it.
Okay, let's go now. Come on. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. All right, we'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in this strategy.
That's basically race over. I don't even, to be honest, there were so many cars in front, I don't even know what the hell was happening. I just had to try and find a route through them. And then hit the back of someone. Why won't it let you tell them to change the wing in the pit entry? That is so ridiculous. Sure, maybe I should have set it up earlier, but like, what the hell? I can't, there's no way I can't go fast.
Okay, this isn't your true position. They haven't pitted yet, so don't waste time fighting. Bring your tyres in gently and let's go for it.
Need a safety car now, basically. To have any hope now tonight, we need a safety car. To allow me to get this wing off. I also want to be clear,
We've got a lot of spare energy.
Daniel hit me
Okay
from
to
behind,
use
and
your
it was
overtake button.
nothing to do with Daniel's fault, really. I'm going to exceed track limit so much with this broken wing. I'm just not gaining on the guys in front in all this clean air because the car is aerodynamically right now a joke. I'm having to brake so early and be so tentative.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Okay, gap to the car in front, 19.4 seconds.
And literally the whole thing would have been solved if on the lane going to pit entry, if I could have told them to change the wing, but for some reason, as soon as you're entering the pits, it blocks out that option. Because it, you know, with my wing the way it is, I've managed to maintain the gap more or less at about 19 seconds. And I'm probably losing like at least half a second a lap by having a broken wing. So I'd have gained so much. Maybe, you know, and maybe even more than that.
Tyres are degrading fast. We can change strategy if you want. Check your MFD for details. Understood. Copy that. Right, let's go, come on! That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. We're both on a two-stopper, but they've got one more stop to make. Let's get past if we can, but don't overdo it, because they'll be in soon. The car behind started to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form. Let's make the most of it. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 24.4 seconds. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by, 15.8 seconds. caution, caution. Okay, be aware there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags.
Whoa! Why do you do that?
Okay, clear.
This better not be another situation, by the way, where I've disconnected and don't know about it. I'd have no way to tell. Apart from if someone's watching comms and knows that. Don't think so, though, considering Levi's just DNF. It didn't seem legit.
We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums.
Seems like for tier 5, everyone is very consistent right now.
Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 16.2 seconds.
No safety cars.
We're going to box this lap and push hard on the in-lap. Okay, pit in this lap and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach. Okay, off we go, back into the race. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Remember to play around with ERS modes in your MFD if you need to. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 5.3 seconds. And gap to the car in front, 4.2 seconds. At the moment, the car behind is lapping faster than us by around a second a lap. Green flag. You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible. ERS is low, ERS is low. Consider changing mode on your MFD or lift a little with gentle braking into corners to recharge it. Good job. Nice overtake. Final lap, final lap. Push, push.
We have to remember these days, there's no guarantee they're going to last forever. Enjoy them as long as they last. I love you guys.
I just wanted to slow down and have some fun with Dave at the end. Well,
Everything you've done to the team, we really enjoyed it.
well, that was annoying. I'm gonna have to watch back what the hell happened there. I'm gonna have to go back and see what the hell actually happened lap 1. Because I don't know. I literally can't even remember. It all seemed like a blur and it happened so fast. It all seemed like a blur and it happened so fast. Right. Steam. And stop playing this game for a minute. I had damage from that lap 1. The worst thing is, PG, so a couple of things happened. It did affect my wing. It did affect my wing, but also I tried to change the wing. I tried to change the wing. And it wouldn't let me change it. But I actually don't... I can't really work out what happened, to be honest.
Now, come on.
I could see, like, cars were, like, ghosted in front of me. Or at least one car was. So, solid enough start. I can see, I think it's the V-carb attacking Daniel behind. Avoid everything there. See, you got hit there, PG. I think, is that what happened to you? That on lap 1. So I managed to more or less stay out of the way of that. Lost maybe a position on track out of it. Now I'm side by side with Daniel, which is going to be a tough race. He clips the Williams just in front there. But look at this now. Whatever has happened here. I mean...
Mind that front wheel.
So you guys come together, right? Up here. I think... Is that you and Scorter? Yeah, and then Bagwan also goes off. Mike P's gone fucking God knows where to get away from it all. So at this point, it's like cars all over the place. Now, I did accelerate there, but... I mean, Martin's in like a ghosted car, right? See, this is why I understand why ghosting is on, and you will never find a racing league without it. I understand. It's frustrating. But this is why I actually think ghosting should never be a thing. I think you should just always leave it off, because it leads to like jank like this. Like, how the hell am I supposed to react when I don't know if a car is going to be tangible or intangible on the bloody racetrack, you know? And then obviously Daniel hits me from behind, but that's not Daniel's fault. I don't know. The Williams went wide and then clipped into me, spun, hit me, and Scorter. It was just, you know... I didn't know where to be here. So maybe I should have just sat back, but the problem is you're also coming up to that very tight, fast right-hander, right? What I don't want to be is like side by side with Scorter through that, you know? And it looked to me, I don't know, it looked to me like Martin was just accelerating through the ghosted car in order to, like, avoid any nonsense. But then, anyway, this was the worst bit. So much with this broken wing. I decided to pit immediately. And just throw a set of... Did I throw a new set of mediums on? Yeah, look at this. Look at this, PG, if you're still here. Did you know it works like this? So my intention was, because I then had wing damage, and I could feel it.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
I was like, okay, I'm going to pit right now. And then I should have set it up here to tell it to change my wing, but I was like, it's fine, right? I can do it as I'm entering the pits. I can tell them that I want the wing to be changed. But then you get in the, like, pit lane, and now I can't
repair the wing, man.
Once you're, like, entering the pit lane, then you can't tell them to change it. So they didn't. I just fit a new fucking set of tyres on lap 1. Still with this wing. What did the fucking mechanics think was going on? Yeah, these hard tyres are feeling it now, boys. We'll box this lap. What happened there? So it didn't let me change the wing, and then I had a real problem because my intention was to do a 2-stop, right? i.e. stop on lap 1, change the wing, fit the mediums, later on fit the hards, go to the end of the race. I actually did a 3-stop tonight. And I didn't end up last, which is interesting. But I actually ended up doing a 3-stop because a bit later I had to like bring it in and fucking tell him to take the fucking wing off. Ferrari strategy there, front wing damage, hards will do the trick. Honestly, I've never seen anything like it. But then I did do this, PG, check this out. So right at the end, I was getting very close to Dave Dyke, right, at the end. I beat him anyway because he's got a 6-second time penalty. I got no time penalties, by the way. But then on the final lap, so there was like a couple of moments, we were getting close, things were happening. I think actually I went to make a move on this lap and ended up putting the car in the gravel for a minute. Just couldn't quite get it done there. Still got a bit of battery though. Around the outside, which is probably insane. But then lose the rears, put it in the gravel. I just slow down for a minute, let Dave go past. That's fine. But then on the last lap, I did manage to get it done. I think actually before the chicane. Yeah, there you go. Fast, long chicane. But then, right over the finish line, I tried to slow down to go equal with Dave over the finish line, but he was too kind and he slowed down and tucked him behind. Slow down and have some fun with Dave at the end. Well, so anyway, there you go. Disappointing first race. Come away with no points after all that messing about, but at least I kept the car on the racetrack and it was fine. I don't think. Thing is, PG, with the crash that we had and the incident that happened, I don't think anyone needs reporting for it or anything crazy like that. I think it was just coming together. But I don't really know what I could have done differently. I mean, I also had Daniel incredibly close behind me. And again, that's not Daniel's fault that he's rear-ended me. It just seemed like we were, you know, there's cars all over the place. And some of them were off track going very slowly. Yeah, it's just lap 1. But the thing that actually fucked my race, I think. So actually that'll be an interesting thing. It'll have gone now, but how long is a pit stop in Australia? Because I think, if you think about it, I had to do an extra pit stop because they didn't change my front wing when I first came in. So a pit stop in Australia is like what? Are we going to say 15 to 18 seconds? Maybe it's even more than that. I don't know. That would just be like a best estimate for me. I think I actually would have gained positions and, you know, still would have had no points, but it would have been better. So there we go. Anyway, I'm not going to be, the real heartbreak is, I know I'm not going to be racing next week because I'm going to watch Oasis. So someone else is going to have to take the Haas seat for next week. And then basically I've got a 13 race season, to try and make it happen. So what's the one I'm actually missing? I'm missing Brazil, which is annoying, but because I quite like Brazil, I'd rather have missed, looking at the track list, Canada would have been nice to miss. But never mind, I'll miss Brazil. It's actually good looking set of circuits this season. So yeah, no stream anyway next week. But I am going to be back on Sunday for more Talos Principle 2, if you want to catch that for Cerebral Sunday. Anyway, love you all a lot. Please be unspeakably and unreasonably kind to each other over the coming days. Maybe I'll see you on Sunday for Talos Principle. Maybe I'll see you on Tuesday for XCOM 2, A Star Wars Story. Good night, everybody.